Hey, Niner fans, just in case you missed it yesterday, we have a new head men's basketball coach. Wes Miller was introduced as a Niners coach yesterday at a press conference at Halton Arena, and we get a chance to sit down with Coach and get a little bit more information about what Coach is like as we get ready for, I'm sure, a crazy offseason. Coach, welcome to Charlotte, first of all. You're going to look great in Niner green.
I feel great. I feel great in Niner green, and it's great to be back home, and certainly great to be here at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte.
So it is coming home for you, coming back to Charlotte, from one Queen City to the other, but your hometown. Tell us about that because you grew up here.
I did. We moved here when I was 10 years old from Greensboro. My mom, my brother and sister, and I. You know, basically my mom's been here ever since. I went to middle school here, ninth grade, and then I went away to boarding school. But this was still home. This is where I would come back home from school, and so yeah, Charlotte has always felt like home to me. And again, great to be back.
And you talked yesterday about the history of basketball in this city and with the 49ers, and had a chance to talk with Coach Lutz earlier today. But you talked about that, the history and what this program's been able to do, and that kind of has you excited because you want to get it back to those days.
Yeah, I think what's neat here is we're not the things that we want to do in this program. There's been things like that done before. There's a standard for this program. I think the people that have supported it, it's been nice to interact with some here over the last couple days. I think they understand that's the standard. They want to see the program at that level again. That's the goal. And listen, it's not going to be easy. We have work to do, but that's why we're here. And I believe we're capable of that, and ultimately capable of even pushing further. And so again, really, really energized for the opportunity and excited to get after it.
You mentioned how North Carolina is the hoop state, and basketball is so important here. You've been a basketball junkie, coaching so early after your playing career came to an end. You get to be a head coach at 27, which really is amazing. Tell us about the influences you've had coming up as a coach, a young coach, becoming a head coach, and who you've leaned on over the years since you've been a head coach.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it doesn't feel like that long ago, 15 years, but it has been a long time. So, first and foremost, it was a blessing at 27 to get a head coaching job. So, athletic director Kim Record at that time, Linda Brady, who was the chancellor at UNC Greensboro. We made it hard on them because we were interim head coach. I was an interim head coach. We were interim staff, and we ended up winning the North Division of the Southern Conference. But that said, to make a 27, who turned 28 at the time, year-old guy a head coach, that was a difficult decision. And so I'll always be indebted to their leadership for believing. So first and foremost, I've got to learn a lot on the fly. I've got the chance over 15 years to make mistakes and learn from them, and have little small failures and figure it out. I'm really grateful for that. But in terms of like mentorship, it all starts for me with my time at North Carolina with Roy Williams. I think the foundation of what I believe about the game, what I believe about team, and what I believe about competition, doing things the right way, right, which is a much longer conversation. A lot of those foundations were derived from my time with Coach, not just playing there, but the time I've spent with him since. And he's been this blessing in my life because he's been with me every step of the way. It's a lot easier to talk to him now when he's not coaching anymore, so he doesn't have as much going on. But even when he was coaching, still coaching at North Carolina, he's been a consistent influence and consistently involved in both my professional and my personal life.
You mentioned how basketball kind of consumes you. You love it, but when you do get away, you like to tee it up every now and then. I know Coach Williams likes to golf. You said you're so competitive. You ever let him win?
No, God, no. And we try to get together every August and play a little golf together. I haven't played nearly as much golf. I played the most golf I ever played during COVID because we couldn't do anything else, and I got a little better during that stretch. Now I'm no good again, but Haven't played a whole lot. I don't get a lot of time, but every August I try to carve out a couple days to play against him. And sad to say, the last time we played, he beat one of my teammates, Bobby Frazier. Him and Tyler Hansbrough beat me and Bobby Frazier. It comes up weekly right now, so I'm looking forward to finding some time this August to try to get back on the right side of that game.
15 years, you mentioned being a head coach. The game has changed, of course, and it's always going to change. But what have you noticed in terms of your coaching style that maybe is a little different now than when you started?
Well, again, I think the nuts and bolts of who I am as a competitor, the passion I have for the game, and some of the very foundations about how I think the game should be played, that's very similar. But I'm a lot better version of myself now than I was 15 years ago. Probably have a lot better perspective. I think I'm a much better teacher. I think I'm much better in game. I certainly have really grown over that time to appreciate the relationships with young people, and not just while you're coaching them, but beyond that, the relationships with foreign players. That's become one of the most special parts of my coaching journey. And the neat thing is, I think I got so much room to keep growing and keep learning, and I enjoy the process of trying to get better every day. So I'm a much different coach than I was 15 years ago, but some of the things that I think make me a good competitor, I think they've always been there, and they're still there.
Coach, when you got home after the press conference, had a chance to just decompress with your family a little bit and went to bed, what did you think about the whole day, how it kind of just played out for you?
Talking about yesterday?
Yes.
Well, heck, I didn't go home after the press conference. I took my butt to the office for the first time. I was in here pretty late. But no, I think, the first, couple months, maybe even a year on the job, there's so many things that you got to get in place. You're not going to have a lot of time to come up for air. So, last night, when I did take that deep breath before I went to sleep, I was just appreciative of this opportunity, excited about the things that I think we can do and accomplish here, and I mean it. I mean, just appreciate this is a blessing to be in this position, to be here, leading this university's men's basketball program, and again, at this point in my career, I do have the ability to step back and recognize that. But most of it's just right now fast and furious. We got to get a staff together, and we got to get that in place as soon as we can without rushing the right steps to do it. We have to try to form the right team so that we can be competitive right away. And the work that we have to do is going to be fast and furious without skipping the steps here over the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks to get that stuff in place. And that's my focus. But every time I do get a chance to come up for air, I will be appreciative to be the head coach.
I showed up yesterday, the players, current players, and you're meeting with them now. But as your former team and the former guys that have been here, talking about bringing everybody's welcome to come back. And you referenced Joby Thomas, so I was sitting next to you during the press conference, and getting everybody to know that they have a home here in Charlotte.
Yeah, like we talked about it. There's history here. There's tradition. You could sense yesterday in the people that I was able to interact with. There's pride. We'll celebrate what's happened before us. We'll welcome everybody back. I think over the next 2-3 months, our focus is going to be driven to just make sure that we get things in place. But when things get settled, then we're going to try to get everybody together and come up with a plan of how everybody that's been a part of this program can feel a part of what we're doing now, be connected to this program. So that'll be important, but in the meantime, we have to make sure we get our staff and our players in place first.
Coach, resource is so important, of course, but for fans, how can they also get involved? Giving is one thing, but also getting them to have themselves in the arena, be there, like the students that showed up yesterday, have that continued support.
Yeah, listen, I think in the era that we're in college basketball, if you have the ability to give, because that's going to really help elevate our program. And we're not going to take anything you give lightly. We're going to try to back up any resource that we have. But it's not just that simple. We got to pack that place. We got to make that a big time home court atmosphere. We want to make sure that we put together a group that gives you a reason to pack that place day one. But, and I mean but, you help us by packing it, give us an advantage to win and attract more players. So we got to have a lot of energy around this program right away. We got to have energy in that arena, and I think anybody that's a 49er fan can do that regardless of whether they have the ability to give or not.
I think Coach Williams said in a quote, he wants to call you for tickets. He said, sorry, Coach, we're sold out. I think you'll find a way to get him in the building.
You'll be okay. He told me that he was going to buy season tickets the last time I took a job, and he never bought season tickets because he knew all he had to do was call me. He'll have the same thing here at Charlotte. And the good news, he has grandchildren in this community, and so he's going to be in town a lot. So he'll always come around wherever I'm coaching and come to practice and come to games. But I think he'll be around a lot more here, which is a blessing for me.
Coach, thank you for the time. Welcome to Charlotte.
Thank you so much.